Hi, I want to talk today about ways to connect with your spirit guides. And I want to stress that what I find is the best thing is to keep it simple and to know that there's no right way. It's a very individual thing. There's a lot of things that I might tell you, other people might tell you, of how they've achieved this or how they have this knowing in their life and this connection. But your way might be a little bit different, right? You might take a little bit from one person who explained this type of thing to you to another person, but ultimately you create this. And I'll tell you about the things I did that helped me to know this connection, to really feel it. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Linda Armstrong, and I am an energy healer and a spiritual awakening coach. And here on my channel, I love to talk about all things to do with energy, transformation, awakening, stepping into your power to create a life that you love. And that's my website, lovemylife.coach. And I would love for you to subscribe, like, share, comment on my channel here. And I also have a meditation for you below, which is meeting your spirit guide. It's a really great meditation. It'll help you make that connection. And it's really, really relaxing, very nice meditation. Okay, so let's dive into ways to connect with your spirit guides. So again, I want to say there is no right way, and really truly to keep it simple. This is something that is natural to you. You have this connection. It's just as we grow older, we kind of lose touch of that. But young kids are really connected. And that's why you see a lot of young kids have their imaginary friend. Well, they're talking to spirit. That connection is there. And actually, in mentioning kids, the thing is, you really need to allow your imagination to take you there. So kids can do that very well. They don't question these things when they show up, or these coincidences that appear. So that's like the first thing, is to really let your imagination go wild. Because what happens is that analytical mind will get in the way and try to dissect and make sense of the experience that you're having. So you want to, as much as possible, keep yourself out of that trying to figure it out mind, and just allowing the imagination to flow, just opening yourself up. Even so much, I would say, to pretend that you're speaking to a guide, and then you'll be surprised how suddenly something comes in, a thought, a feeling, a sensation, a coincidence of some sort. There are no coincidences, okay? We're constantly being guided by our guides. Okay, so if you want to have like a few kind of steps to get you in that place, you might want to try to just create like a sacred space, like a space where you're going to start making this connection. If you're very new to this, because it kind of does help, to just put yourself in a mindset of being in a place where you can make connection, even though you can make a connection anywhere, anytime, any place, right? But in the beginning, it doesn't feel that way. It actually feels a little bit like work, at least it did for me. And I want it to be more like fun, like play, because you'll get there so much faster. And then you just want to ask to connect, just say in your mind or out loud, I ask to connect with my guides, and I always like to when I get myself into my sacred space, I like to put like a beautiful cocoon of light around me. There's this beautiful bubble of pure positive light, and it helps me to raise my vibration, to be in a space where it is easier to communicate, because spirit is at a very high vibration. And so it's, you need to raise your vibration up to be able to make that connection. So, like when we're really down and desperate and we're trying to talk to our guides and we're just saying, help me or do this, do whatever, you're not really in the energy space to make the connection. You want to instead, connect to that deeper part of you, even just breathing, getting yourself in that quiet place, and you'll feel your body start to relax. And as you feel your body start to relax, you open up that connection. You start to create that channel in a way that you are receptive to the information that wants to come or to the connection that wants to be made. So what I would do is then just ask for the connection and ask for, my guides or those guides that are here for my highest good, right? So you just feel this comfort in knowing that in case there is some kind of riffraff spirit out there, which it's very possible. I haven't come across it, but it's very possible. You're just stating your intention, because everything is based on your intention. Your intention is to speak to, communicate in some way, or sense and know the guides that are here serving you for your highest good. And then you're going to have to kind of let go of the outcome, right? So what happens is when we're asking and then our conscious mind is thinking we're not making a connection because we're a little too stuck in our head to even notice if there is a connection going on, because we keep thinking, oh, nothing's happening, or maybe I can't do this. It's not true. You can do it. Everybody can do it. So I'll tell you, for me, when I first started feeling this without even really, I didn't actually even ask for it. I was at a funeral, and during the procedures, or whatever it is you call a funeral, when people were speaking, I could feel this sensation in my heart, and it was different. I hadn't felt it before, and I intuitively knew that something's connecting with me. I don't know if it was the person who passed or what. I was in a church, but I felt that, and I wasn't really sure. But I asked some of my psychic intuitive friends, and they explained that was a connection. And I had found that for me, ever since then, when I really feel this connection, I feel it in my heart center. I just feel this sensation. Okay, so since I'm talking about things that you feel, I'll go in that area right now. So sometimes when I'm making this connection, I feel hot. Like I could be working with a client and I'll just have this heat come over me. Sometimes, say if I'm meditating, I'll feel cold. I'll feel spirit when they come in that way. And then also, I was just going to say, when my sister who passed comes to me, I would feel her kind of like a coolness, and I just would sense the energy. But there are times when I just feel her directly in my heart, and I'm sobbing. Oh, and that's another thing. So you're sitting, you're making this connection. Now, what I find too, and especially even more so, like when it's to do with channeling, when you're making that connection, I'll get, it's kind of silly, like giggly, and I know it's not me the way I normally am. I can just feel this energy, and it even creates movement within my body. But that's more of a channeling thing. But I just want to point out things that you may sense while you're doing this. So yeah, movement is one. Even if it's just you getting your body into this flow and into this smooth, easy vibration, where then you're receptive to the messages that want to come. But just to be still and to be quiet and to maybe focus on your breath. And you can ask a question, and maybe you'll hear something. Maybe you'll just sense. So for me, sometimes it's not often that I hear like an audible sound. For me, it's more, although that does occur once in a while, but it's not the way it comes to me usually. It's more of a like a knowing, like I suddenly just know something, or I feel something, or a thought comes in my mind, and I'm like, whoa, it takes my attention because it came out of nowhere. So where do you think that's coming from? It's coming from your guides. And so it happens a lot, But we don't acknowledge it because not too many people are talking about this on a like day-to-day basis so that people know that they can make these connections. So they kind of just put things aside. That's why I say there's no coincidences. No such thing as coincidences, put it that way, because it's all happening for a reason and with a purpose. And so it is a connection of when something really takes you up, you're like, whoa, how did that ever happen? It's just the perfect way to be, which makes me think of a client I had earlier today, and I had her pull 3 oracle cards, 3 different decks, and each one was so spot on that there's no way you could even make this up or pick these cards. Logically, I probably would have never tried to pick those cards for her. But these cards that came up were exactly it. So if you feel like you don't have the confidence to like sit and listen for yourself, you will be able to do it, but maybe you don't feel like you can right away. Use oracle cards. The oracle cards, I've been using them for a while with meditation groups that I do, and it just amazes me how the cards come up exactly what's needed. And even when a card comes up, you're thinking, this has nothing to do with me. You'll find you'll pull that card again and again until you take notice, because there's a message there for you to get. So oracle cards make it easy. You can also use a pendulum. I have a video on 2 videos on how to use a pendulum. They're older videos, but you can find them. That again isn't sometimes an easier, at least for me in the beginning, it was easier for me to get information through using a pendulum, through using oracle cards, until I finally accepted for myself that I'm able to hear spirit, you know? And I think what really made that difference was, for me, was the time when I heard spirit tell me I could heal myself. I had a tear in my rotator cuff. I was gonna have surgery, but I heard this, sensed it. I don't know if I heard it with my ears, I can't really tell you, but I knew when I heard that I could heal myself. And I wound up healing my tear in 2 months' time with purely just meditation, just sending that energy of love into my shoulder. Healed it. But I got that message. And I thought to myself, wow, okay, so I can get messages that way because I just did. And maybe too because I was opening up to it more, because I was exploring all these different things like you must be doing with spirituality, right? You're always growing, you're learning, evolving. I mean, that's what we're here for. So the meditation that I made will help you too, to feel that connection. I had that too in the beginning. I would do meditation, I would feel it strong. So I had something that I could kind of relate to. Because in the guided meditation, whoever is giving the meditation is guiding you, right? So you just have to sit back, relax, and enjoy, and notice the sensations or the feelings that you have, the thoughts, the pictures that might come. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. I also like to keep, so feathers, pennies, you know, repetitive numbers, all of these things. Your guides will find ways to get messages to you. An ad you see on TV walking past a room, and something about the words spark a solution for you, right? Something you've been working on. You know, you pick up a book out of nowhere, and the title or whatever it is you flip to is exactly what you needed to hear. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. And so this is your guides connecting with you, because you have guides that are here to assist you on what you came here for in this lifetime. And so, you know, for your spirit guides, there's no time. They're not in the space of time like we are here in Earth. So like it goes by real fast as spirit. And so, you know, they're just with, it's not like we think, oh God, they can hang around me every day for the whole life and all these years. But yeah, because for them, it's this fast, right? So we have to get rid of that idea of time when we connect with the spirit guides. Get rid of everything. You just want to open yourself up to your imagination. You just want to open yourself up and be able to make that connection within your imagination, because your imagination will take you there. But I was starting to say about feathers and coins that I like to keep, like I have this glass circle bowl with the opening, and I put the feathers that come to me in there. You know, it's just kind of fun to collect them. And like pennies or coins that I find, for me, it's always a sign from my guides, from my angels. And, you know, and I pick them up and I put them in this other little box. I have one box, I call it my God box, and then I have this feather thing. Some of them that I find I put in my healing office, and some of them I carry in my computer bag. You know, it's a lot of times I'll receive, like I'll find, you know, like some kind of a message, and then I'll send it back out to the universe so somebody else could find it, right? Who's kind of switched on to this, because I figured, okay, I'm going to work with the guides. I'll send some of that out for somebody else. It just makes it fun. That's all it is really getting into that really playful, easy energy, you know, that energy of joy, of love. That's what really connects you to your guides. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say about this. Oh, yeah, so one other thing too, and I use this when I need to clear energy that I'm not sure what it is. And just writing, what's it called? Automatic writing, you know? So if that, you can do it at any time, like for any reason, you know, you can just say, okay, I want to connect to my guides, and you've got this piece of paper, and you're like, just flow whatever you want to flow to me, and I'm just going to write, and like not even taking the pen off the paper kind of writing, and just anything that comes in your mind. You just write it, and you'll be surprised how things start coming through, because it's kind of like you're letting go of what it has to be. So like I know that when I'm doing that, it might just look like a whole bunch of nonsense, you know, like words, colors, numbers, sentences, piece of a movie I saw, like anything might come out, a problem I encountered. But like for me, when I do that, I do it more in a way of, if I have some heavy energy I want to clear, I'll just start writing. You know, okay, I don't know what this is all about, but I'm just going to keep writing. I'm going to let spirit talk through me, and I'm just going to figure out what this is. And boy, am I hungry. I think I might go and do this later on. And oh, I remember when so-and-so said such and such. And oh, and then there was that time when I felt like blah, blah, blah. And then you're back to, yeah, I really don't like those new shoes that I bought. Maybe I'll return them. You know, like whatever comes through, just let it out. And the more you do that, the more you get in that flow. If you have the intent, it depends on your intention. So, okay, my intention was for my guides to help me clear the energy through this writing, you know. And a lot of times when I do that, I might write like a bunch. I might actually remember 4 different things that might have happened that I know were heavier energy times. And they're not even connected, at least not logically. And then I feel like amazing, you know. So I know that I'm just picking up on what it is that I need to clear. And I'm not doing it from my logical mind. It's just flowing through. So it depends on what your intention is. If your intention is, I just want to channel my guides and see what advice they have for me, or you know, see if, you know, let me know if I'm on the right track here or whatever, and just let it flow. Okay, so, you know, writing's another thing to do. And then another thing I wanted to point out too is, so once you start doing this more and more, you'll start to get a feeling sense of how they come in. And it may not always be the same way. Like, you know, I had a friend of mine taught me, she would ask me, when you're making a connection, where do you sense the energy or hear it or feel it? Do you feel it on the top of your head? Do you feel it here? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it outside of you? Like, where do you feel it? And I used to think, you know, I didn't get it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm feeling it. I don't know if I'm feeling it. You know, like I had some resistance to it, you know. But then it just started happening. So the more I worked with this, the more it just started happening, because I start opening up more and more to allow for this connection to be there. And now I know that, at least when I'm working with my clients, I don't hear, it's not like I hear words. I know, like I get thoughts, or I just know something, and I feel like it's a little bit outside of me, like a little bit to the right, somewhere out here. That's what I know that now. I totally know that now. That's where it is. But there are other times when I feel it, or when it's for myself. Say when I'm not working for somebody else. When it's for myself, I'd say that I mostly feel it I think I feel it more within me, more in my heart center. Yeah. So those are more the two ways I feel it, either just within my heart or this something out here, which I can't even describe what it is. But the more you work with this, you'll find your own way. So like it gets back to the thing I always say is there's no right way. You just have to find your way. And really important, keep it simple, because you can really overcomplicate it by trying to find out how everybody else does it. And okay, I'll try this, this doesn't work. It's like, you just want to sit with the intention to make a connection and just let your imagination go crazy. You could even say, well, if I were imagining I was speaking to my spirit guides right now, I would imagine that they might be telling me la 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 la. And you'll see, you'll start off dictating what that story is, but it'll just take on a life of its own. Okay, so that's another way to get it going. But anyway, I think this video is getting a bit long, so I'm going to quit for now, because I mean, that's just the way it was for me. And I know now that I can make that connection. For me, it is definitely easier for me to connect for my clients than it actually is for me to connect for myself. So I'll go to someone else for that. I can get my own stuff, but it's a little hard to, sometimes get your mind out of the way. And that's why I want to stress to be in that playful imagination place. Because when I can remind myself to go there, well, it's so much easier. It's just that when it's something, really important, you start to doubt yourself a little bit. So that's when you have to go back to, and I'll have to remind myself, no, wait a minute, I'm back in my head again. No, let me drop into my heart, get in that beautiful space, breathe a little bit, ask a question. And what I'll do now is I'll say, okay, either it comes to me right here, right now, or it'll just show up in the next day or two. And then I detach from it. And so that's when I actually get messages for myself. When I kind of put the question or the request out there and then let it go. And I don't beat myself up if I don't get it that minute, that instant. I used to say, I can't do this. It doesn't work for me. It works for everybody else, but not for me. So luckily I got past that. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because, there's no right way. Just play with it. Use some of the things I said. But really, if you really want to make this connection, if you haven't had this experience for yourself, get the meditation. It will really help you to feel it, to get there, to sense it in some way. So I guess that's all for today. I would love for you, again, to subscribe and like and share my channel. And I look forward to speaking with you on another video. Bye for now. Oh, have fun connecting with those spirit guides.